Monday morning, and kids just went to school. We're still on PJs with the babies, one sleeping, one here. And I'm here thinking to myself, maybe in the future, if you'll watch those videos, future me, maybe you'll enjoy more Sundays better than you do now. It's definitely fun for the twins. They love their sacrament meeting chases around, and then in the primary they have fun with playing with toys, and they don't really cry for mommy, which is really nice. Good prep for them. Starting in April, they're not gonna be with mommy 24/7, so. But there are a few reasons why I hate Sundays. Not because I hate going to church. I don't go to church for other people. I do go to church because it's something between me and the Lord, especially with partaking in the sacrament. I understand the magnitude of sacredness in it. It's something that it's not just some bread and some water given to you. The symbol behind it is just very sacred, and it reminds you of who you really are, and why you're here, and what you have the potential to become. I don't use a translation. I don't know what they're talking about the rest of the time. And I quite honestly have tried to use it, and the babies just pull the earphone from my ear and then just play with the device, and it's just I've done it with 3 boys before. I had a translation in my ear. It just didn't really work very well, because even if somebody is mumbling quietly in English in my ear, I just don't understand or hear or follow, because they're those people. Before they were 3 little ones, now they're 2. So yeah, that's that. I enjoy Sunday school too, when it's every other week. I do enjoy it, especially when you have lots of people in the room. There's like lots of input and different questions and different opinions, and thank goodness to the, what is it called? There is additional source that I use from the internet, YouTube channel, that that there are scholars and a whole team put up together a lesson for the next week Sunday school. So I listen to them. They understand. They know the meaning of the words from the scriptures in Hebrew, and they know the history background, and they're Egyptologists with them. People who understand not just so that's what I like, the scripture aligned with history, because everybody to some point in their life learns history in their lives, whether it's world history or like everybody learned about the pyramids in Egypt. Everybody learned about world wars and things like that, and Mesopotamia and the Persian Empire, and like the 12 tribes of, when you tie up everything, like yesterday we had a good discussion, then it's fun. You connect the dots in the scriptures. There are documentaries that I heard about yesterday that people assume where Sodom and Gomorrah were, and then we were studying that about Lot and his wife, and how she probably disintegrated into salt, because we're mainly made of salt and water and calcium and whatever. So whatever meteorite rain destroyed those two cities, because there was none found that were righteous, and she looked back, she turned into a pillar of salt. So there are different interpretations you could put into that. But Old Testament is fascinating. This is the first time I actually really enjoyed, because there are people who actually talk about it in a scientific way and historical background, and the wording. They always, I didn't even know that the name is the lesson in the Old Testament. The name, for example, Isaac, who is the son of Abraham from Sarah, his name means to laughter, rejoice, joy. And it's because he is how he's brought up. It's like, Abraham is 100-year-old, his wife probably about 90, who knows, I don't know, but he is joy to the family. And even when he was put to be sacrificed, he wasn't, but he was about to. That rejoicing of him, still being there alive. It's just beautiful. Like Noah, what does Noah mean? Noah, the prophet Noah, what was it? So all of their names mean something, and then that's how the Jewish people kept their record. Like the lesson is in the name. They carried a certain name that carries a certain message, and they kept lots of their genealogy with names. That this guy begat this guy, that guy begat this guy, and so forth. So, and I also learned about the family tree of Abraham. Like Abraham had two brothers, and each of them had children, and Sarai, or Sarah, was actually a real sister to Abraham. So when he was telling people, and that's my sister, go lie to them and you're my sister, he wasn't lying. Actually, he wasn't lying. They were brother and sister from a different mother, from a different mother. So same father, but and cousins would totally be fine marrying each other. One of Abraham's brothers married his niece, so, and then they got Rebecca, who would marry Rebecca, who would marry Isaac. So I thought that was really, like, they lived, like, the nuclear families were separated in different locations, but they were really cool people. And then, like, I didn't know you could, back in the day, I think it was possible to marry your cousin, your niece, I don't know. Anyway, so those are things that are fascinating to me. And just keep in mind, there is just people like us. It's not like some superheroes from ancient pages. They're just normal people like us, and we'll get a chance to meet them one day and talk to them. And, it's amazing. What was not really amazing to me was, like, so my oldest son is almost 12. He received the Aaronic priesthood, and with that comes passing of the sacrament responsibility. But then the branch president decided that, it would be nice if we feel another calling for him. A calling is voluntarily service for the Lord, and there are different callings in the branch. And when you have the Aaronic priesthood, you have the responsibility to serve in different callings. One of them is to being the president of the deacons, because he's a deacon now. So there is a deacon, a teacher, and a priest in the Aaronic priesthood. I went online and studied last night, actually, because I can explain that to my kid, and I learned all about the calling and the responsibilities that comes with it within the unit of the church you attend. So now when you're the president of the the deacons. And by the way, he's the only one in this small branch. If you have a bigger unit, it's called a ward, and in the ward you have a bishop. But in our branch we have a branch president and his 2 counselors and a clerk. And but then every unit with the priesthood has the person and 2 counselors and the clerk. Clerk usually keeps, I guess, track on the attendance of people. If somebody's not coming, they check on them if they're okay, with pandemic, especially physically, if they're okay. So this boy I have, he has responsibilities, right? So when you become the president of the, even though he's the only one, there are technically 2 others who are kind of like going towards the, they're young men, but going towards the, the older men already. But next year his brother is joining and another kid is joining, so there will be 2 more. But when you're the president, so there's a responsibility, right? So when you become the president of the deacons, anyway, so we go to church yesterday, and they kind of like, he was like with me toward, like, we were the last, him and me and my baby girl, the sleeping beauty. Because before you go to the church building, you have to measure your temperature and then write it down in the record there. And so he was kind of like waiting for us, and we entered, and then there were those 2 other young men, kind of, but not, well, one of them is not really young man, he's like 20 or something, I don't know. But he was just recently baptized, so he just learns as much as he can. And he started playing already. He's like, Mommy's no fun to cuddle anymore, I'll play. But he was told, my son, that so no mumbo jumbo, no small talk, no good morning, no nothing, just like, so you are the president of the deacons now, so you kind of like have to find people to pass the sacrament in the mornings. And so my boy, like, the nice person he's like not really, I mean, he feels ambushed, but like he doesn't say like anything. He just okay. And so I just had to step in and just say, I'm not sure he really knows his responsibilities yet, and so we're still learning, and please help him to know. And so but that was it, that was about it. Like, that's all we had to know, that he can ask people around to pass sacrament with him. So he went to his father, of course, and he asked him to pass the sacrament with him. And because there's not many people in the audience, they just 2 is enough. But that was very interesting experience. And it's not like I'm playing the offended kind of person card. It's just there's so many million ways to approach a kid when they're still new in their calling and stuff like that. And thank goodness my son is not like easily offended kind of person, or like taking it like serious, like too seriously, or like he's not like that. He just lets things go under the bridge, and he does what he has to do, and he just goes with it. Please close that drawer. Thank you. So yeah, yeah, and yeah, and yeah, just going to church is just it. I have this just one friend, I would say, that we talk, and it's just because we talk because we speak English, and I don't know. I really like her kids, and they're really sweet. And her husband is a Sunday school instructor, and they both went to the same university we went. Only much later after us, and younger people. But yeah, I struggle there, because it just doesn't feel like my place, because it's full of the clan I am married into. It's just full of people that are well respected there, and well, I don't know how to explain. It just feels like fish out of water there, because it's like you cannot really be yourself. It's like, no, I never really felt like I could be myself any moment in this country to begin with. And you know how in Japan you have to put a certain face and certain mask, and to just pretend everything, life is wonderful. And it gets tiring to do that. Even if you're forced to, it gets tiring to do that. So when you see your mother-in-law in the bathroom washing hands next to you, saying hello to you, like, it's just, life is so great and so cheerful, and let's just let's just start with a small talk with how are you, and how wonderful life is here, and just start with those. Like, it's seriously, like, I say hello back, but what I wanted to say was probably a sentence that would be 5 minutes long at least. Oh, hello back to you, as I'm glad you're enjoying your life in your country, and your wonderful travelings to Hawaii and back, and I can see how you're refreshed and feeling cheerful. But guess what? I'm not in my own country, and I'm married to somebody who doesn't give a crap about family, and happens to be your son, by the way. And there are lots of things that rather make me not happy here. But hello back to you. Yeah, thanks for the hello. That was very heartwarming. Oh gosh, I cannot really speak anymore. But yeah, it's just, seriously, people. Isn't it interesting how we all are all in our own fight with everyday challenges, and we're all with our owning our shortcomings, and we all have the struggles that we face and try to kind of like bury and hide up under the rug. And it depends on how much you have on your plate every day. You act a certain ways, and sometimes you just let your guard down, and you just let all the emotions flood you out, and sort it out afterwards, kind of like. But people here, they don't really get to the emotional part where they should cry it out or something like that. They just exist. They're happy and nice and cute, and life is wonderful. So, well, I'm not that kind of person, and I'll never will be. So it just hits me sometimes, like, people, when they get married to somebody here, do they really care about that person? I'm just curious. Do they even care? Like, basic care. I don't care about love. Care what the other person thinks. Do they even sit down to discuss their plans with their spouse? Do they even care how their spouse is managing, coping with their unfamiliar rules and country and culture? Do they even care? Do they even think that would be a problem in the future if they marry somebody out of their culture? I'm starting to worry about, what is this psychopath mentality that you just bring somebody into your house and think that that somebody is going to be totally fine with your household and your rules and your habits and your dictatorship and your imprisonment, pretty much. How do you sleep at night? Like, how are you feeling okay with that? You and your whole clan. It's like, I really want to see his younger brother who married a Hawaiian lady. I want to see them. And she served her mission here. I really want to see them here living and raising their children in this country. And then we'll come and talk. It's not just me. I'm not making up stories. There's so many ladies out there that I see online. I don't really visit that page so much on Facebook because it's just really depressing to see how they vent, and those ladies are struggling with not just their husbands who are Japanese, but just the whole extended family and how they treat their kids differently. I'm not making up stuff here. It's just so my defensive reaction is I just back up and I just put boundaries. And I do not want to be part of their gatherings. I don't want to be part of any, because I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to see my kids getting hurt. I don't want to feel different all the time. So I just ignore and just stay in here in this prison of a house. So that's what I do, because I have zero desire to put this pretending everything is wonderful kind of face. And when inside you feel like a turmoil of loneliness, abandonness, people don't care about your opinion, people are not planning your future with you, even though it's also your future. And on top of that, acting like saints. I just don't get that. I don't get it. My kid is going to be 12 soon, so he qualifies to receive his patriarchal blessing, which is a very, very, it's like a personal scripture that is given to you by patriarch. The patriarchs that's a calling given to you by the first presidency of the church or the prophet and his counselors. So there are not very many patriarchs probably in Japan either, I would imagine, because there are not very many ward units. And in order to get for my kid to obtain his patriarchal blessing, he has to go to a different prefecture and different island from here. And so, and he would probably receive it in Japanese, I suppose, because I suppose patriarchs in Japan speak Japanese. And so I received mine in English because I was given to in the States as a missionary.